What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is my review of the new Netflix movie Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Now, this film was directed by Andy Serkis. It has a voice cast of Andy Serkis, Christian Bale, and many more stars are included. And this film, to me, it's understandable why this film wasn't released in theaters, because quite frankly, this isn't that good of a film. It's a film that would have struggled if it did go into theaters. It probably wouldn't have made a lot of money, and so it's good that they dumped this movie on Netflix so they were able to recoup the amount of money that it took to produce this film and to make this film, as well as making a little bit more. So my thoughts on this movie. This movie is a very violent take on the Jungle Book story. It's a much more darker tone film as opposed to what you would see from a Disney Jungle Book movie. But the plot is pretty much the same. You have Mowgli, his parents are killed by Shao Kahn, the tiger, and in order for the baby, which is Mowgli, to be safe, he is rescued by the panther, Nakari or Akkad or something. I can't even remember what his name is, to be completely honest, because all their names are pretty much the same except for Baloo. And he then gets raised as a wolf. He explores a human village and he has to take down Shao Kahn. That is the exact same plot you will find in every single one of these movies. Now, how is this movie different? Well, definitely with its tone. It's much more darker, like I said, much more grittier, and it kind of has more of a realistic approach to what you would see from a situation like this. However, obviously it's still fantasy. You're not going to see animals talk in real life. It's just not how it's going to work. Another thing that's very different about this movie is the look of the animals themselves. Now, this movie was made by Andy Serkis, and he did motion capture pretty much for all of these animals. I mean, you could tell just watching this movie that he was able to do motion capture, and it looks great. I mean, I think the best thing about this movie is the CGI, is the special effects. They put a lot into making this world and making it look as realistic as it did. However, it's the same dried up plot, and that's my biggest problem with this film. If you're going to do something like this, make it grittier, make it more violent, I'm okay with that, as long as you give me a better story, as long as you do something different. There are maybe a couple things that are different to this movie as opposed to the others, and you actually get to see Mowgli explore more into the village. This movie, watching it, it gave me the Legend of Tarzan vibes, and I'm not a huge fan of Legend of Tarzan. I actually have only seen it once. I do own it on Blu-ray because it was $2 at my local thrift store, so I was like, why the frick not? But it was pretty boring when I watched it, and that's really the biggest fault of this movie, is that it's just so boring. It lost me halfway through. I started looking towards other things, started doing other things. I wasn't even paying attention on the movie, and that's a big problem for me. If you're going to make a film like this, at least make it somewhat entertaining. The third act really picks up, and I was enjoying this film a lot more. But honestly, those first two acts were very dreadful, very slow, and it was just such a watered-down brick to brimstone of what we've seen from every single Jungle Book movie thus far. So this movie, I don't really recommend this movie. It's one that is going to be very forgettable, and yeah, I probably won't even remember it tomorrow, to be completely honest. But anyway, guys, what did you think of Mowgli? Let me know below in the comments section. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll be making a lot more content, especially for the holidays, because I'm going to be going to California, and so I'm going to be making a ton of videos and just probably shooting off videos in California, editing them and all that stuff. Anyway, guys, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.